We're back with another episode of Dave Chappelle Crushing Woke Culture. Get ready for more laughs, more heat, and more of Chappelle's fearless takes on the madness unfolding around us.
I'd like to start by addressing the LBGTQ community directly. I want every member that...
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel. City boy! City boy! How do you do this? Go like this. Whoops. It ain't working. Wokesters, come out and play. Wokey woke, come out and play. Some of y'all will get the reference. I needed 2 glass bottles. That ain't working, but whatever. Let me take a sip, man. We got Dave Chappelle crushes woke culture. Again. All right, so we're going to get into it. I see the woke people coming out in my comments. They seem to be very upset, triggered, sad. I'm sorry, you guys. Society has gone and pivoted to a place that I don't agree with for the most, not all of it. There's some good stuff that comes out of, these concepts of, empathy, compassion, equality. I'm not mad at those concepts, but there's also some bullshit that comes out, and we calling it out. We calling it out. When I say we, I'm talking about Samuel L. Jackson. I'm talking about Denzel Washington. I'm talking about Mel Gibson. I'm talking about Dave Chappelle. I'm talking about Ricky Gervais, right? Y'all can stop getting mad at me in the comments. They said it, not me, player. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm not a star. Somebody lied. I got a chopper in the car. So we're going to get into this. If you're here for it, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want to check out the link in my description to my other channels and support the Humble Hustle. This is from a new channel called Woke Watch, and we checking this out for the first time. This is Dave Chappelle crushes woke culture again. I'll probably do this in 2 parts, break it up a little bit, but we'll see. So let's go.
Start by addressing the LBGTQ community directly. I want every member of that community to know that I come here tonight in peace, and I hope to negotiate the release of DaBaby.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. They took his career hostage, bro. His career was kind of done after that, bro. That's just insane. That's what happens when you get canceled and your fan base is the woke. That's the funny thing. Like, each side will eat itself. So let's not act like the right is impervious to this. Like, the right eats itself too. Like, the whole there's a huge divide with like the argument about Israel and Gaza and the right. But yeah, we'll leave that out of this.
DaBaby was the #1 streaming artist until about a couple weeks ago. He took a nasty spill on stage and said some wild stuff about the LGBTQ community during a concert in Florida. Now, I go hard in the paint, but even I saw that shit and was like, God damn, DaBaby. Ooh, he pushed the button, didn't he?
There is actually 2 communities right now that you can't really criticize without facing, potential, career ending, cancellation, banned on platforms. Like, if you really go hard criticizing 2 specific communities, I'm not going to let y'all, I'm not going to say it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably can't read my mind unless you telepathic. If you are telepathic, you know what I'm talking about in the comments. Just holler in the comments.
He pushed the button, punched the LGBTQ community right in the AIDS. Can't do that. But I do believe, and I'll make this point later, that the kid made a very egregious mistake. I will acknowledge that. But, a lot of the LGBTQ community doesn't know DaBaby's history. He's a wild guy. He wants and him in Walmart. Oh, this is true. Google it. DaBaby a nigga in Walmart in North Carolina. Nothing.
Yep. If y'all didn't know, you know now. Yeah, DaBaby is like a gangster for real. He got, he a gangster for real. He ain't just a rapper.
Bad happened to his career. In our country, you can nigga, but you better not hurt a gay person's feelings.
Imagine a world.
You know what's funny? I'll let this dude speak who's doing commentary on this channel. But I want to tell y'all something, real life experience, lived experience. I see it every day. So on YouTube, when you do videos, the goal for creators is to make sure there's a little green dollar sign when you're on the partner program that says monetized. Two things can take that away from you. Ad suitability, it's in yellow. That means you're not monetizing. You can't get paid for the video for the most part. And red means it's been copyright claimed by a company or whatever, right? Well, I've done this, okay? I've reacted to Dave Chappelle. I've reacted to a bunch of stand-up. And these MFers will say the N-word with the hard ER, with the A, bomb, 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 and it'll still be monetizable, right? But if you say the F word jokingly, right? The F word that rhymes with Bob Saget. If you say the F word jokingly, you have to edit it out or you will not be able to monetize your video at all. At all. This is real time. So it's just funny. What he's saying isn't just in real life. Like, it's also like all these things, they just kind of push it. They keep pushing it in areas that you wouldn't even suspect. So for YouTube monetization, you can say some foul stuff. You could say the craziest story in the world. But if you say this word or about these, these certain communities that are protected, non-suitable for YouTube. That's just the way it works, you guys. I didn't make the rules, but I see it firsthand because I'm always on my YouTube channels building them. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. Now, in their defense, there was a time I reacted to the N-word family, the Chappelle show skit, and they kept that. They treated that one fairly. They were like, oh, nah, this is just too crazy, right? But I've done plenty of videos like the Corey Holcomb joints. I've done plenty of videos where there's some crazy stuff being said, lit up in green. But God forbid you criticize certain communities that you're not allowed to criticize. And when I say criticize, I'm not saying belittle. I'm not saying persecute. I'm saying you should be able to criticize anyone, including Donald Trump, because people get tricked. Oh, you're this, you're that. No, F that. Donald Trump is sus on hellish shit, man. So don't get this shit twisted. You gotta be able to criticize whatever you see, call it a spade. And I just think it's funny how YouTube works.
Where surviving Walmart drama is a breeze, but one misstep in the wrong crowd, career crisis mode. It seems like these days it's not survival of the fittest, but survival of the most cautious.
I was saying, my guess is the G's are driving that car. That makes sense to me, because there's white men in the G's. And these people are trying to get around discrimination and oppression. And you know how white dudes are. We know these roads. In fact, we built these roads. The rest of you buckle up. We'll get you to where you want to go. So the G's are just driving.
I'd give some pushback to this just a little bit, not fully, because like in America, we have a certain history, and that's what he's going off of. But as I dive into some of even these Thomas Sowell videos, it's like, white men did not invent oppression. It's something that's been going on through slavery, through all, Egyptians, freaking Africans, freaking white men, you know what I'm saying? In Latin America, like, it's just wild. So, like, when people act like white people invented oppression, you could say they conquered certain civilizations, they colonized certain places. You could say stuff that's true and be like, okay, cool. But like, in my opinion, I just think it's far to be like, we invented it. I mean, am I tripping? Let me know. I ain't trying to be caught up in Stockholm syndrome. I'm just like, are we keeping it a buck with each other? Or are we just, caught up in the victim Olympics? I don't know.
And you know how white dudes are. We know these roads. In fact, we built these roads. The rest of you buckle up. We'll get you to where you want to go. So the G's are just driving the car. Of course, next to the G's in the passenger seat is the L's. Everybody likes the L's, except for the G's. I don't know what that's about. I just know the G's don't like them that much. G's always say like little subliminal digs on them. It's not mean, but you know what I mean? They just be like, I wouldn't wear that. The only thing that breaks the tension between the L's and the G's are the B's in the back seat. If it's one thing that the L's and the G's agree on, is that the B's are gross. They seem greedy to the L's and the G's, you know what I mean? They're just sitting in the back seat like, yeah, man, I'll fuck anybody in this car. What's going on, man? And sitting next...
He is snapping. He's snapping on this. That's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't seen this sketch. That last one, I've heard some of it. I thought it was on Netflix. Hopefully this don't get tagged by Netflix. They be hating, bro.
The bees all the way in the back seat by themselves, looking out the window. That's the T's. Everybody in the car respects the T's, but everyone also resents the T's. It's not the T's fault, but everyone in the car just feels like the T's are making the trip take longer. Anything the T's say gets on everybody's nerves. And then the T's don't even say anything bad. They just be in the back talking to themselves. I'm hot. Shut up. Shut the up, okay? What? Just said I was hot. Could you pull over at the next exit? I need to use the restroom. There is not a restroom for you for 4 states, nigga. Will you just shut the up so we can get where we're going? Just when that car can't get any more tense. The cues are a hitchhiker that they pick up on the road. Some white dude in booty shorts is walking down the freeway.
Yo, what is the cues? I know the L, the G, the T, the B. What is Q? The Queens? The Queens? What is Q? I'm not joking. What is Q? Anyways.
G's see him. That guy might be one of us. Hey, are you okay? You need some help? And he come over there with them booty shorts leaning on the window. Hey, what's going on, fellas? Lady, whatever pronoun makes you feel comfortable in the back.
Yeah, okay, so Q is the word that rhymes with beer. So I'm confused. L and G is a Q, isn't it? This is like some rainbow freaking algebra right now. We're doing rainbow algebra. L and a G is a Q, right? Or am I? See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, it shouldn't be this damn confusing just to, like, understand a community, yo. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah. I don't really know where I'm going. I don't know if I'm gay or I'm straight or whatever. All I know for sure is that I really want to get in this car.
Maybe Q isn't. I don't know what Q represents. I don't know. Shit.
Chappelle's got the community packed into one car, each letter with its own quirks and complaints. Allies? Sure, but they're squabbling all the way. Somehow, even unity can feel like a bit of a bumpy ride.
It's like that white...
Hell no, man. I don't agree with this dude doing the commentary on this channel. He's kind of weak. Because that's my biggest argument with all of this. And I don't know how I can preface it on this channel without taking that L. But, like, always trying to lump in black and brown folks or minorities with that community, we ain't rocking with that, man. I'll just keep it real, man. People ain't rocking with that. There's a whole different plight over here. And I'm just going to speak for a few folks that I know personally, but in general, the consensus in the black community is that the rainbow community is trying to skip the line. This is why you see so much tension. Like, it's just funny, man. Like, wokesters and stuff like that. They're like, oh, we're all one. We're all this. We're all minorities and da-da-da. But that's not how the black community looks at it. And typically, that's not how the brown community looks at it either. I'm not the spokesman for either community, but I am black and brown. So, you know, it is what it is. Y'all take it how you want it. But that's my biggest pet peeve, is trying to lump the plight of the black community into that plight. Totally different, man. Totally different. I don't need to get into the specifics and details, but it's just like, you know, if you don't know the difference, that's insane. And that's the problem with today. Like, all these things are becoming watered down, and people aren't able to see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Between people who actually were faced, you know, way more persecution, way more struggle, a lot of different things because of the way they looked, you know? And that's the one thing where it's like, for example, when I'll do a Thomas Sowell reaction and we start talking about slavery, you know, a lot of the selling points for the right is like, yeah, see, slavery went on all over the world, which it did. It was a common thing. It wasn't a race thing, right? But in America, after slavery, it was definitely a race thing. We saw it because we saw how people went after certain people and things played out, right? And this is a dark smudge in the dark history of America. And I don't know if the people on the right admit to that. Most of them do. They're like, yeah, that was like a blemish. And then that's where I'm like, yo, we can have these real conversations. Because I don't really get into the whole, like, you know, I don't know, man. It's just like having a certain type of mindset is going to serve you to cross the finish line, right? And if you're just if you allow things to break you down emotionally, mentally, a lot of different things, it's a lot harder to get to that finish line. So I think a certain way, and I make moves a certain way, but it's a complex subject matter. I like the way this was broken down by Dave Chappelle. The commentary on this, nah. Like the moment he put like the black fist like this, like the BLM fists, and then try to be like, yeah, you know, like this is the same plight. I mean, that's what he was implying to it, kind of. I'm just like, no. This is a different. And I also think it's ironic that they slip in these like communism symbols, like with the black fist and stuff like that. It's just interesting how it's like you had this war against communism like crazy in the 80s, and you know what I'm saying? And it kind of started creeping through with the hippies in the 70s from what I saw. And then it's just weird that that's still a thing, like, because communism really hasn't done anything. Everyone would be like, well, they didn't do it right. But communism in general has been pretty destructive for people's rights, etc. And people are still trying to push that concept because of the concept of the collective. And this is why they try to put all these communities together and be like, yo, we're the collective. Collectively, you about to take that L, man. Just look at some of the stuff that has gone on in the past, in my opinion. But anyways, Dave Chappelle crushes woke culture again. This is part 1. We're about to get into part 2 on the next video. Let's go.
City boy, city boy.